We presented to council at the study session on March 14th. There was a good discussion, a hearty discussion about different things, and there's some questions that came away from that. One of the questions was, we gave them 3 sites, and we didn't narrow it down to one site because at that point it wasn't about the site, it was about the package and the whole process. We've chosen Woodbury, and that's our recommended site now until someone gives us a better one, and there's still time for that because at this point we have an option on the property for $880,000, and that option is fully refundable. But I have yet to find any other site that would allow us to get onto the property and prepare it for use for that price. And when you think about the concept of the whole program has to come out of that $20 million, that cost savings allows us to invest those tax dollars into the building, which means we can put more durable finishes in, more efficient fixtures and systems in, which means the taxpayer's investment will be that much better invested. So we also talked about the details. Council asked for more specific information. We came back, the architect provided a better drawing of the design, a 2-story walkout design on Woodbury. We also provided more information as far as a PowerPoint and updated the PowerPoint to give them specific details of the cost of the project and the bond cost of the project. Well, it fit the criteria. I mean, it rose to the top with the other 2 sites as being the best because it was shovel ready and fit the criteria. The challenge that we face is no matter what we do or how we look at the criteria, we run into a challenge of a shovel ready site is almost always going to be cheaper than an urban built-on site. A built-on site means that you have to set monies aside to purchase the properties, move the residents and businesses, demolish the houses and buildings that are on that site, remove any streets, remove and relocate any utilities from power to water to sewer to fiber, gas. All those things have to be moved because you can't leave them where they're at. They're going to run under the middle of the building potentially. Mm-hmm. So it gets very expensive. And I would have loved, when we started this project, I would have loved to have stayed downtown. The challenge is no one has been able to provide us a site that is a viable option in the downtown area that is comparable in price and meets the criteria as does Woodbury. The location of the station is not the determining factor. The factor that should be a consideration is what additional services are we able to provide and how are we reaching our customers or our citizens now. And what we need to keep in mind is that people don't come to the station to call us for assistance. They call us from their homes, they call us from their businesses, they call us from the street, and we meet them where they're at. Our officers are out in districts. They serve in 8 districts all over town, plus there's traffic officers out every day on every shift. So we're meeting them where they're at. On top of that, our detectives go out to scenes. Our investigators meet witnesses and victims out in the streets. We do come back to the building. The building is the fundamental foundation for every service we provide, and it needs to be functional and modern and safe, but it is not home base as a fire station would be. We don't have a geographical service area like a fire station. Our geographic service area is the whole community. And the difference is that we have officers out there in the community already working with citizens where they're at.
And the first job I had was I was 1140 construction laborer. My mom said if I didn't go to school I'd end up digging ditches, and I did that for 8 years. And one of the jobs I did during that time frame was help build the Potawatomi County Courthouse, and that was probably 1978. So we've been in that building almost 40 years. And unfortunately, when we built it, the city leaders didn't have the foresight to build it in a location where it could be expandable. It's not expandable. It's attached to the courthouse. It's landlocked. And so in 40 years, we have outgrown that facility. You can imagine how much law enforcement has changed in 40 years. These officers are in an area where there's sometimes 3 and 5 people in the size of a very small office space. The women's locker room is a closet. So you have 10 female employees that use that locker room. That's not an exaggeration. It's a converted closet.